The iMusic app's purpose is to manage a list of albums the user would like to buy. We don't want the user to have to manually open iTunes and search for the album. Instead, let's implement our Open in iTunes method so that the user has quick access to the album page in the iTunes Music Store. Now, opening a link to a web page or another app is actually quite easy to do thanks to the UI application class. If you'll recall from an earlier lesson, every app has a single UI application instance running at all times. It sits behind the scenes playing the central role of coordinator for all of our application events. Let me switch over to the Album Details View controller. And in our Open in iTunes method, let's define an NS URL. So this will be the URL that the user will transition to. And I can create a new NS URL using its URL with string method. And the string that I'm going to pass to this is self album iTunes URL string. So this is the URL to the actual album page in the iTunes Store. Once we've done that, the next thing we want to do is ask for the UI application instance, and we can do that by calling its shared application method, and simply call open URL and pass in the URL. It is just that easy. Now we can run this in the simulator and just verify that the link out happens, but unfortunately this is one of those cases where you can't run this on the simulator and really have to deploy to a device. But if you deploy to your device, everything should work as you'd expect. But we can at least click this button and see that we get transitioned out of the application. So if you actually run this on the device, it'll reroute and then open up the iTunes Music Store. You now know how to open external URLs in an iOS app. This can be a great way to open a URL in Safari or link to another app, and adding this feature to our app provides a nice convenience for our users.